During the House Judiciary Committee hearing, Congressman Scott Fitzgerald pressed FBI Director Kash Patel about how Charlie Kirk's shooter accessed the rooftop at Utah Valley University. Fitzgerald noted that surveillance video shows the suspect was on campus nearly 4 hours before the shot and later seen jumping off the roof of the building from which the fatal shot was fired.
Do we have any idea how the suspect got up on the roof in the first place? I think for members of Congress, especially after Butler in Pennsylvania, it's just unimaginable that there could be some type of security breakdown prior to an event of that size where somebody could access a rooftop.
So not commenting on the case, but having gone to the crime scene and walked the steps that we believe were taken, the roof was actually readily accessible through an exterior stairwell, so anyone could have gotten on it.
Fitzgerald also asked whether the shooter acted alone, a question that many of us are still asking. He pointed to text messages and Discord messages between the suspect and his boyfriend as raising questions. He acknowledged public reports claiming a solo actor, but said the public deserves answers. He also referenced what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania, suggesting lessons lost or overlooked. The killer has been identified as Tyler James Robinson, accused of firing a bolt-action rifle from the rooftop during an event. The case remains under investigation for motives, accomplices, planning, and security failures. And we learned from Kash Patel just a few days ago that the people that are being investigated now far exceed 20 in number, at least when it comes to the Discord messages. So joining us now is member of the House Judiciary Committee, Wisconsin Congressman Scott Fitzgerald. Congressman, thank you very much for joining us. And what a fireworks-filled hearing yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, having Kash Patel sitting in the chair, responding to questions at a time when it's just very critical to kind of get some bigger answers to what happened when it comes to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It was obviously an opportunity to kind of see what the director had kind of at the top of his mind when it comes to information. I knew he would be somewhat limited because it is an open investigation, but I thought he did the best he could to kind of answer some questions.
Well, I was so glad to see you transition to the question of what happened in Butler. I raised this with Chairman Comer a few days ago, where this latest tragedy in Utah has reminded the general public that there are still some pretty astounding questions that have not been answered when it comes to President Trump's 2 prior assassination attempts, but in particular the Butler, Pennsylvania story. And that just doesn't sit well with Americans to have such an open-ended question about events like this.
Absolutely. I mean, it was the first thing that I thought of after we started to get some of the details about what happened was how in the world, after what happened in Butler, could he possibly gain access to that rooftop when you've got an event of that scale, an excess of 3,000 students that were there, and kind of that amphitheater setting. It's kind of amazing that there wasn't either private security or, maybe a sheriff's department or municipal police department that would have, at least taken a look at that aspect of it to make sure that there was no possibility that you could have a sniper on one of those rooftops.
Well, again, there's all these questions about, how many people are potentially involved in this latest shooting, and yes, the federal officials are involved. It's mostly in the hands of the local officials there in Utah, but people have been really worried about looking at these alleged text messages between the killer and the killer's boyfriend, looking at messages and saying these feel very contrived. Something feels off about this. But maybe it's just that we're so primed to question just about everything that comes out of these kinds of investigations.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.